Hi, it's Richard Moore from Racing Profits Guides, and we're here at York Racecourse with Kevin Darley, ex-jockey, ex-champion jockey, and we just thought we'd talk to Kevin. It's his local course is York, so we'd just reminisce a bit about some of the rides he's had here at York and what you think as a jockey of York. Nice to see you today, Kevin. How's things going?
Yeah, really good, really good. Obviously it's nice to get the season kicked off with the Dante meeting here at York. Great crowd here, and the track itself, Richard, it's a jockey's dream, really.
Is it? Always a very fair track, is it?
It is, and I always maintain here that if you're on the best horse, you should really win.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got plenty of time in the straight, there's plenty of room, and even more so nowadays because it's evolved with the jockeys that they tend to come down the middle of the track.
Is that because there is a golden highway there, or is it just the way jockeys have?
Well, I walked the course earlier on, and there is a little bit of bias up the middle. Either side is maybe a little bit softer, but I think the jockeys tend to go up the middle on various tracks now because the rules are so strict and stringent that it obviously gives everybody a chance, and they don't have to, make rash manoeuvres to try and get out and get a run. So
makes a real difference down the middle.
Ultimately, I think it's changed for the best, probably.
Just more because of the regulations and the rules change. You think that's?
I think so. I mean, in my day, if you went sort of more than 3-4 wide round a bend, you'd get a good sign off of a trainer. But
you put it too wide.
That's right. They seem to swing up the middle of the track now, and I suppose, like I say, looking at the way races are run, they are run a lot fairer. And on a track like this where you've plenty of time in the straight, if you're stuck in behind and they are going up the middle, you've more chance of getting a run at them.
Absolutely, because it is a long straight here at York. That's the one thing you notice when you come here for the first time, is it's over 4 furlongs, isn't it? Very like Nottingham.
It's 4.5 furlongs, and the turn is a furlong and a half round. And then when you get in the straight, like you say, you're just over 4 furlongs, and it can appear a long way, but for some reason, like a lot of these tracks with long straights, it does seem to suit the front runner.
Yeah.
And again, it's something that I always maintain that if you're in front and you're going to be in front for a long time, and there's a long straight, they tend to prick their ears and look rather than turn into the straight and start racing. So that's probably why it suits the front runner.
Yeah. And when you were riding here, then would you sort of wait till the 3 furlong foal before really pushing on, or was it depend on the horse and the pace of the race?
Well, I suppose towards the latter part of my career, I was spoilt in that I was riding a lot of Mark Johnson horses, and they obviously like to be up with the pace. I always maintained that once you get in the straight, once you've gone sort of a furlong, 3.5 to run, you start building them up, you start to get them rolling. And if you can get them rolling and sort of lengthening off a natural stride, rather than asking them to do something too quick, they'll hopefully keep going.
Keep going, that's right. Yeah. So talking about the different trips around York then, the 5 furlong, you've obviously ridden in the Nunthorpe plenty of times. I mean, remember the 1997 Nunthorpe was quite an eventful race for you, wasn't it?
Won't forget that one for a while.
Run through what happened in that race then.
Well, I was on a horse called Coastal Bluff. I think we were drawn sort of middle-ish, and they were racing up the middle, and we jumped out of the gates, and after we'd gone about 10 strides, the actual ring of the bit where the rein is attached, that broke, and I literally went through the rest of the race without bridle. Unfortunately for the horse,
you were holding the mane with you the whole way.
I was hanging onto the mane, and that was all. And like I said to people afterwards, they all said, "Oh, it was a great ride, this, that, and the other." You're going 40 miles an hour.
Just hanging on with it.
What else are you going to do? The horse was going straight. I thought, look, just get on with it.
Yeah.
And thankfully, he did keep going straight. And
it was a dead heat, was it?
Dead heat with a horse called Yamalak, and it was quite a historical race, really, because obviously Alex Greaves rode Yamalak, and it was the first time a lady jockey had ridden a Group 1 winner. So
fabulous. And then after the line, you galloped off, and I think was it Kieran Fallon who was next?
It was. We didn't have the round track like we've got here. It used to open out into the car park, and Kieran came up beside me to try and help me pull up, and my first reaction, I was on a sprinter, so when another horse came up beside him, he went to go again. My first reaction wasn't very polite to Kieran, but when I realised what he was trying to do, then he took me, actually guided me over to the far rail, and once we got near the end, the horse started to slow down, and I literally bailed out, and all that was left on him was the noseband.
Right.
So we let him back on the noseband, and I think it took 25 minutes before the announcement.
I've seen the footage of it, and
it was a long old
time. You had to weigh in as well, wouldn't you?
I had to weigh in, yeah, and it was a long old time, but it was a good result.
Yeah, very good. And then talk about some of the different trips then. There's the 6 furlong, obviously you've got the Gimcrack over there.
Yep, the 6 is,
very,
I mean, it's obviously, it's very flat and straight, this track, and you know, you can, you know, it's very versatile. If you've got a horse that likes to be up on the pace, you can jump and let it bowl and know with confidence that you're going to get home. You haven't got any sort of stiff hill to climb or anything like that. And the same with a hold-up horse. You know, you're going to get the pace in the race. So if you're good enough and they do come back at all, you are going to pick up some quicken. So it's
like
very
you said,
fair.
it's usually the best horse in the race will win.
Yeah. The only times that it can get a little bit complicated is when they have the stalls either on one side or the other, and then you maybe can get the odd hard luck story, but that's racing.
So the 1 mile 2, the Dante we've had today, obviously over the 1 mile 2 trip, and they're into a bend fairly quickly there, aren't they?
They are, yes.
Having an outside stall, is that a disadvantage, do you think?
Can be, because before you get thinking about the 9 furlong, it turns again, so you'll go straight from the 1.25 miles until you get to until you've got about just over a furlong, and then you'll turn again towards the actual turn itself. And the draw again can, particularly in a big field, can play a big part, because obviously I know there's plenty of time in the straight, but if it's a big field, you're playing catch up anyway, and because they tend to drift towards the middle of the track, you're having to go around the pack and you could be coming a long way around. So big field on the round track, good draw is essential, really.
Yeah. And the same on the 1 mile 4 and the 1 mile 6, do you think those starts?
The same, yeah. Again, you know, those big handicap starts, good draw does.
It's more because of the size of the field if you don't get in position early on.
It is, because obviously it's competitive racing, and it's just natural instinct that when you turn in, it's time to start to build the race up. Horses that are dropping back get in the way, and they tend to all pack up. So to try and get a run through them can be quite difficult. So you're always forced to go one way or the other, and if you've been thrown wide into the straight, you're going to be getting lost with it.
Before they built the round here, I think it was 2005 for the Royal Ascot meeting, wasn't it? They used to start the race called the 2 mile race. They have it. The 2 mile race.
You've got me now.
Hello, sorry. But they used to start the 2 mile way down the other corner of the nave, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
And then now they've moved it in front of the stands. Does that ride any different?
I think it probably helps horses a little bit, really. If I'm honest, turning all the time, it tends to, you know, with 2 turns in it helps them to.
A long-tail cup.
Yeah,
long-tail cup. That's it. Yeah.
Whereas, you know, going down that long straight, you have a long run before you get to that turn, and 9 times out of 10 you maybe go a little bit too quick. With the extra turn in, I mean, I'm so glad that they're leaving it as it is now. I think there was an issue with the council or whatever, but you can see looking at the track.
Oh, it's beautiful, yeah. And I think having a round like that, I mean, they can do the lot longer races anyway, can't they?
Yeah, and it's better for the spectators as well. You know, you can see them walking around at the start and loading up and everything. So
anything else you think people should look for when they come to York racing? Is there anything you sort of think they should be aware of?
I obviously get asked to do little bits of PR and stuff, and do 1 or 2 boxes, and it frustrates me sometimes when people don't come down to the paddock. You can tell so much now.
Coming down here and looking at them go round.
You don't have to be an expert. It's not a rocket science. If you see a horse that's getting on edge, getting a little bit sweaty, it's maybe one that you could put a line through, because the stable yard here is way over the other side of the track. They walk across, and there's a lot for a horse to take in here. They have to be able to, you know, take the big day. Obviously there's a lot of people here, it's a big occasion, and the odd 1 or 2 can just boil over. So is
it more juvenile horses, do you think it affects, or is it even the more...
It can affect any horse, really. It can affect any horse, but my tip is come down to the paddock, have a look at the horses, see what they tell you.
In that last race, actually, the favourite was very short and on his toes. Came, I think, 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Just showed that the temperament, and like you say, they all nearly always big crowds at York, aren't they? So
yes,
it's got to affect you.
It's a joy to ride here, and for any owner, any trainer to have a runner here, obviously it means a lot for all the northern trainers and owners. Having a winner here is second to none, because the atmosphere is fantastic.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's a great insight into York from Kevin Darley, and thank you for your time, Kevin.
Thank you.